Thank you. What I want to first address, Frank Ferry, you were mentioning, I'm changing off my original topic for just a moment here. It's interesting you were asking for a legal way to maybe cut down on the amount of speech that's happening out here. I think it's more important that you ask yourself, why are so many people coming to these council meetings to address these issues, rather than trying to find a legal way around shutting us up out here? I really take some resentment. And there are some real reasons why we're here. I'm not going to sit and address open space. Every other time I've been here, it's been on open space. That's not why I'm here tonight. However, one thing from the open space that is still with me, and I put it behind me, but there is still a lack of trust. And we have a lot of citizens here that still have a serious lack of trust in a lot of things the city is doing. On the open space, I'm not going to go into detail, but we were lied to as citizens as to the fact that it was different this time. The money could only be used to purchase raw land. We were told that from city employees, council members, mailers that were brought out from the city, the committee. This was a very common statement that was made, and it was very effective at selling the measure this time, and it passed. It was sold with a lie. There's still a serious lack of trust. Out of that, Sterling King and myself, we still want to be involved in this committee. We paired up on the open space, but we want to be involved in a lot of issues. We formed our organization, We the People SCV, so that we can learn about issues, inform citizens about issues, and have influence on a lot of those issues. The first one that we were going to take on was Las Lomas. Mr. Keller, you were very effective at helping to put that one to rest. For that, we thank you. Secondly, we decided, well, Smizer's the next closest thing, and that's something that's dear to our heart, and we wanted to take that on. We came with that at the same time as the Calgrove Corridor Coalition was coming up independently with that. Sterling was very effective at putting together a second neighborhood meeting on that this Saturday. We had 100 people come out, and that's many who are going to speak here tonight. And they want answers on this. The big distrust here is coming, why does a developer feel it's okay to even submit something like this? Do they feel that this is something that our city is going to be amenable to? We understand we can say no to anything, and our city can say no to anything, but why is it coming out this way in the first place? And that's what we want answers for. And we're asking you all to do the right thing. Thank you very much.
I'm going to ask a favor. You know, I'm going to be a hard nose here. We're here to listen to you, and that's our job, to listen to you, and I'm more than willing to do that. But it is a rule that you are not allowed to clap after every speaker.
You know, they always say that right before I get up. You know, about a year and a half ago, this project was being touted around as about a 500,000 square foot project. Then it went to about 600,000 square feet, and it was talked about by Jeff Lambert, and then it went silent for about a year, and 5 or 6 months ago it was resubmitted as 2.5 million square feet. And somewhere in there something happened. And I don't know if Mr. Rogers really deserves the black eye that he's getting from this in the community. He's getting it. And I don't know if it's because Lambert kind of led him down the primrose path to this entourage of gorilla dust that's being raised up over it. Maybe he doesn't deserve it. Maybe he's taken some bad advice. But it was advice that he's taken. And it came into the city at 2.5 million square feet. You know, he's got some decisions to make. He could maybe get rid of Mr. Lambert. Maybe he would just get rid of that advice, get rid of him. It's caused him a lot of trouble. He's a good guy. He's done a lot for the city. He's done a lot for the college. I don't think that he's a bad person, but I think he's gotten some bad advice. You know, it might seem like to people that you don't listen, or that you're really more concerned about big guys and not the little guys, but I'll tell you this. It would mean a lot to us like Mr. Ferry did with the MRF. Invite this developer in and say, Mr. Developer, here are the zoning standards. Don't send us a project until it's within that mark. And if it's not in that mark, don't even bother wasting the time to stamp it and send it in, because you're going to get it right back. Now the letter that you're talking about, Mr. Pulskamp, you and I are either going to like each other when this is over, or we're not going to. Either way, I read the letter. The letter was not, hey, this is how much you need to reduce your project. The residencies went from 800 to about 250 to 300 residencies, and that was it. It said, here's how far over you are. There was nothing in there that said where you need to bring your project into. And it said, we look forward to your next submittal. Basically saying, we're in the dance now. Give us something, and we'll find the middle gray over zoning allowance, and we'll find out what's going to be comfortable for the city, and we'll see how soon it takes for the public to kind of quiet down. Well, you know what? If you are going to be deciding where the middle gray, what shade of gray is right and wrong, then we the citizens are going to come up with our own black and white standard, and we are going to have that be held, and not the city do it. And so, as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Smizer's up there right now campaigning for an early resurrection so he can come down here and tell everybody where to go on this project, because this is not what their family intended for this property in Santa Clarita.